welcome to another episode of the Zeelicious cooking series. And remember that this is still the Christmas edition, and I've been showing you how to make lots of holiday inspired treats and delicacies that you can use to make this holiday season a memorable one for your friends and family. Today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect holiday jollof rice. Now I know that I already have a jollof rice recipe on my channel, but this one is a totally different recipe and I'm sure you are going to love it. Let me introduce you to the ingredients. For this recipe you would need 3 fresh tomatoes, 6 large chili bell peppers, also known as tatashi, 4 fresh peppers, 5 medium-sized onion bulbs, 3 garlic cloves, 1 inch root ginger, 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, half a tablespoon of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of crayfish, 5 bay leaves, 5 seasoning cubes, 3 cups of chicken stock, 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, some salt to taste, 5 cups of rice, and half a cup of vegetable oil. Okay, so for this perfect holiday jollof rice, I'm going to start by blending up my tomato tatache. I have a bunch of them here. Now, I'm going to give you a secret. The secret to an amazing jollof rice is in the onions, the quantity of onions used, and the tatache used. So my own secret is use 3 parts tatache, 2 parts onions, and half parts tomato. In fact, if possible, don't even use tomato at all, but I just like the freshness it gives it, so I use just a little bit of tomato, a lot of tatache to give it that redness and the flavor, and then a lot of onions for sweetness. You may say, onions, Winnie. Yes, I know what I'm saying. Onions add loads and loads of sweetness to your jollof rice, and that is my secret. So I'm going to blend all of this in here in the blender, and my tip is to chop them up in really very tiny bits, just so that the blending process will be a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster. Almost done. Wow. That's a heavy blender. Okay, next I'm going to add some garlic cloves as well. I never cook without garlic, so 3 garlic cloves goes, and then my ginger. Now this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to chop this all up and then I'm going to saute it in some oil before I continue cooking it. So I'm just going to set this aside and just add a little bit of water, a tiny little bit in the blender, just a little bit, and just blend until a very smooth puree is formed. Okay, so that's the blending done. You can see how red the puree looks already. So over here I'm just going to place, now notice that I'm using a stainless steel pot for this. This is the perfect type of pot to use whenever you're making jollof rice, so that you can have that smokiness and that patty taste when you're done making it. And I'm going to show you how to achieve that in a bit. So all I'm going to do right now is just turning my vegetable oil into my pot and just allow it to heat up. And then while it's heating up, I'll just come back here and I'm going to chop up my onions, cut it in half. So I'm just going to chop it all up real quick. It can be a really rough chop. It doesn't really have to be a perfect chop, because I mean it's going to be lost in the jollof rice anyways. So excited for this recipe though. Now whenever I want to make my jollof rice taste really great, this is the recipe that I do. There are a million and one recipe, jollof rice recipes that actually exist, but trust me, this one is fail proof, I promise you. Okay, so let me check if the oil is hot now. Nope, it's not hot yet, so we just have to give it a few more minutes. Let's sing some jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun, sing with me guys. Jingle bell, jingle, oh, what are you doing?
Sorry, we didn't come for choir.
Okay, so the oil is hot enough. I'm just going to take all of my onions That sizzle. It wasn't so much today though, but I heard it. I love it. And I'm just going to saute this for about 30 to 45 seconds until the onions become translucent as usual. Okay, let's just give it a little time. Okay, so this is perfect now. Next, I'm going to bring in my tomato concentrate. That's the tomato paste. And this is also going to add some flavor to the dish as well. And it's also going to give it that rich red jollof rice color. This is the secret. Then with the tartar of course. So everything is going to go in. And why I'm doing this, why I'm putting it first is I want to fry it up a bit so that it's all the tangy taste and the tomato taste just goes out of it completely. And it's one of the secrets to having that perfect party jollof rice taste. So we have to do this, okay? So we're going to fry this for about 5 to 8 minutes. And you will know that it's perfectly fried when the tomato paste just starts to stand apart on its own and you see the oil bubbling just right on top of it. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to, and you have to keep stirring so it doesn't burn. Just set the heat to medium so that the food doesn't burn. Okay? Alright. Okay, so this is perfectly fried now. You can see that the oil is just starting to bubble nicely right on top of it. I'm going to bring in this tomato pepper blend that I did earlier and just transfer everything into the pot. Oops, you have to be careful at this point so that it doesn't splash all over your face. Okay.
Why is it being like fireworks?
Oh, I think the tomato paste is angry that I'm bringing in the fresh tomato. Like they're coming to marry each other. So I'm just going to stir this around, and it's already starting to look so good. And what I'm going to do is cover my pot and then allow it to fry up or cook up for another 5 to 8 minutes. Chidot is yawning, like he just yawned like a lion. I'm sure he cannot wait, and the aroma in the kitchen is already so fantastic.
It's tormenting.
It's tormenting. So I'm just going to cover the pot and allow this to fry up for another 5 to 8 minutes so that the water content from the tomato blend will just dry up a little bit. So let's give it some time, okay? Okay, so let's check on this. Oh, it's perfectly fried now. Let me just give it a quick stir. It's just perfect. Next, I'm going to add this chicken stock that I made at home earlier. You can use the store-bought one if you want. This I made by myself. And I'm just going to stir it around. And it's just a matter of adding the other ingredients like the thyme and my curry powder. There's no jollof rice without thyme and curry powder, I tell you. And of course my seasoning cubes. Just do that really nice and gently. Now this is also going to intensify the taste of this jollof rice, I tell you. And I'm also going to add some ground pepper. I like my food really hot and spicy, and I'm sure you all already know that. And I also like to add crayfish to my jollof rice. I know a lot of people don't, but I do because I like the taste. So crayfish is going to go in. Okay, so I'm using the fresh nutmeg anytime I'm using the nutmeg because I find that the flavor and then the aroma stays in the nutmeg, and I prefer it to the ones that have already been ground and packed in the containers. The fresh ones are a whole lot better, I promise you. So I'm just going to grate in just a little bit. And there's no jollof rice without nutmeg. It gives it this distinct flavor and taste. Trust me, you always want to make your jollof rice with nutmeg. So I'm just going to stir this around. It's starting to simmer up slightly and gently. And I'll stir it around and sprinkle some salt. It's 5 cups of rice. I'm making quite a lot of, quite a lot, right? So I'm sprinkling quite a lot of salt in here and stir it around again. Aroma here is beautiful. And then finally, I'm going to bring in the star of this dish, which of course is the rice. My rice has been washed thoroughly already, and it's not pre-cooked, it's just washed. So everything's going to go right in. have to ensure that you wash the rice thoroughly though until the water runs clear. I washed mine for about 6 to 7 times. That's how much you want to wash it. Jadot is looking at me like, why are you washing the rice so much? Okay, so I'm just going to stir this all around just to ensure that the rice is thoroughly coated with the sauce. See how red it is. I promise you this is going to be an amazing jollof rice. And then I'm just going to add a little more water. Remember that my rice is raw. I've not cooked it before, so I need more water so that this thing cooks thoroughly. And okay, that's perfect. What I'm going to do is use foil paper. Before I cover the pot with the lid, I'm going to just cover it first with some foil. You already know that it is the steam that cooks your rice and not the heat. So you want to use this to trap the steam inside the pot so that the rice cooks perfectly. And when you're using foil paper, always use the dull side facing the food. The shiny side should face out. This is what conducts the heat and keeps the steam right in there. So use the dull side, okay? So just gonna cover just like that. And place the lid gently right on top. And just put this up just so that I don't catch any kitchen hazards. And then I've set my heat to the lowest heat. Remember, rice is better cooked when the heat has been set to the lowest. All right, so we're just going to give this a little bit of time. I'll come back and check it in 20 minutes to see how things are going. I'll be back. Okay, so the jollof rice has been cooking for 20 minutes. It's coming together perfectly. It's not done yet. It still needs more time to cook. I can tell that it's not even done yet, but I just want to quickly add the bay leaf. Now this is also going to add some flavor to the jollof rice as well. So I'm adding 5 bay leaves and I'm just gently tucking it into the jollof rice so that all of the flavor can go right in there. Okay, so I'm just going to cover the lid and allow it to continue to cook for another 10 to 15 minutes or until the rice is perfectly softened. Okay, so let's check on the rice now. The water is dried up and the rice is softened. It's so obvious that it is done. I'm just going to remove the bay leaves. Please remove the bay leaves. It's not edible at all. So take it all out. I remember I put 5 leaves, so that's the 4th one, and then this is the 5th one. And I'm going to give this a good stir. Oh, I think I put 6 leaves. I don't know, sorry. You see how red my rice looks? That's exactly how you want your jollof rice to look, and it's a little bit moist and just so perfect. Now what I'm going to do to give it that smoky flavor, remember I've been cooking this jollof rice on very low heat. What I'm going to do is turn the heat to the highest. Yeah, remember the water is dried up now and the heat is on the highest, and I'm just going to cover the pot and allow it to burn up just a little bit. When it burns, the steam, the smell of the burnness, if there's anything like that, will mix up with the steam, and then it will go right into the jollof rice and give you that smoky jollof rice taste. So I'm going to let this cook for another 3 to 5 minutes just so that I can get that party taste. So I can literally hear this rice burning, and that's exactly what I want. The stainless steel pot that I used also aids the burning process and makes it a whole lot faster and better. That's why it's important that you use a stainless steel pot to cook your jollof rice. So I'm gonna open it now. Now look at that smoke.
Wow.
That's the smoke from the burning. And I think I can already perceive that party. Can you guys perceive it?
I can see it from the camera.
You can see, but can you perceive it?
Okay, I'm perceiving it through the camera.
This is the perfect holiday jollof rice. So I'm just giving it one final stir. This is some yumminess in a pot. This is how you want to cook your jollof rice this festive season, I promise you. Okay, so that's done. that's done. You can serve this jollof rice with chicken, whatever you like, whatever protein, fish, plantain, don't forget some plantain, whatever. I'm gonna have it with some chicken and plantain later. But now you know how to make it. What are you waiting for? Go and make it for your family and friends and wow them this festive season. I promise you, they will come hugging you and kissing you and making you feel like a superstar, which you are. Alright, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get instant notification whenever I upload a new video. And follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as Zeelicious Foods. And please kindly send me your pictures on social media as well if you are going to make this party jollof rice. I'll see you next time with another beautiful recipe. Until then, remember that this is the festive season and it's the season of great laughter, good cheer, and lots of food. So laugh a lot and eat a lot as well. Take care, guys. Let me go dig into this jollof rice.